Rick Mulrooney has joined us tonight on Focus Delaware. He's the Executive Director of Central Business Wilmington, Inc., a downtown trade organization that acts as sort of a mini chamber of commerce for the city of Wilmington. Rick, welcome.
Hi, Bob.
How you doing?
Good.
Let's see. Last time I saw you was at the Delaware Theater Company production of Christmas Carol. Remember that?
Exactly,
Yeah.
Opening night.
Right, that was nice.
Good show.
Rick, we don't really have an official chamber of commerce. Would you say that Central Wilmington Business, Inc. is the next best thing?
Well, we take care of one phase of downtown development that a chamber of commerce would take care of. There are actually two organizations that fulfill the function of a chamber of commerce for downtown Wilmington. The Greater Wilmington Development Council, which sort of takes the high end of things, trying to relocate corporate headquarters or industries, that sort of thing, working with the state and with the greater Wilmington area in mind. Central Wilmington Business, Inc. is primarily concerned with downtown Wilmington, the central business district, and working with merchants, bankers, businessmen who are downtown every day trying to increase the quality of life and keep the revitalization ball rolling, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Could you explain in a little greater detail what your organization does on a daily basis?
Certainly. Most of our stuff is promotional. We work with the city quite a bit on downtown activities such as City Fest, which we had back in September, the 4th of July Jubilee, which was a great success this year.
Mm-hmm.
Got lucky on the weather. And we act as a liaison between small businessmen and the city and do a lot of promotional activities for merchants and bankers in town by doing cooperative advertising and holding sales and that sort of thing. We've just gone into the publishing business. We now publish the Central Wilmington Banner, a weekly paper, a successor to the old Commuter News, which is now being distributed on the DART buses and comes out usually every Thursday, but we're a little messed up this year on account of Christmas and New Year's both falling on Thursdays.
That's right, as well as our show. Well, that's what you do for the established business people. Now, suppose I wanted to start my own business. What would you do for me?
Well, if you'd want to come in and talk to me, I'm a generalist in terms of downtown business. I could give you an overview of what's going on downtown, what I hear from our members and from other businessmen in town. I have a pretty good idea of what sort of businesses we already have and what kinds we need. And in terms of very particular things, I can direct people toward the particular people in city government. We have a lot of development people working on various aspects, and depending on what sort of a business you wanted to open, what your needs were in terms of site acquisition or leasing, financing, stocking, working capital, I can send you to the particular person who can help you put together a packaging deal.
I guess I should ask you, where are you located?
We're at 903 Orange Street.
You have an office there? Is there a sign out front that
yes,
identifies?
We sublet space from Richard R. Evans Advertising on the 3rd floor at 903 Orange Street.
Okay, good. What do you see as the benefits of doing business in the Wilmington area?
Wilmington is certainly coming back these days. It's a much more exciting place than it used to be.
That's for sure.
We turned the corner downtown. Most people in town would agree about 3 years ago. Unfortunately, just as things started rolling, we hit this soft economy that we have now. And things are continuing to move, but much more slowly than we had hoped. But the big thing to remember in downtown is that it's an evolutionary process rather than revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
The deterioration of downtown areas all over the eastern seaboard has happened over the last 35 years or so, and we're not going to be able to turn it around in 3 or 4 years as much as we'd like to. But in terms of locating downtown, doing business downtown, there are, by rough estimate, 35,000 people who come into the central business district every day to work. And these are the people that downtown businesses are working with now in terms of clientele. Farther down the road, we're going to be looking at trying to, well, we're already looking at it, but we're trying to find the right time to make it work, to make Wilmington back into the regional shopping center that it used to be, and get into things like evening hours and Sunday openings and that sort of thing. Small things are being done in different areas right now by different people, but we're probably a couple of years away from a real good, strong, concerted effort to reopen the town, as it were.
Mm-hmm. You know, a large factor is the fear factor, and I think we have turned the corner on that. There was a time when people were afraid to go downtown, and I think now you're seeing more businesses, establishments, entertainment, restaurants opened at night. And do you see that as a trend that will continue?
Oh, definitely. The entertainment people, the club owners in downtown Wilmington, have really done the big job of getting people in town at night and showing them that Wilmington is a place to come and be safe and have a good time. The people who are most afraid of downtown, in my experience, are people who haven't been downtown in 10 years. And when they do come downtown, they're amazed at how nice it is, how safe, how many people there are on the streets. The Wilmington Police Department is excellent. There's nothing that makes people feel better than to see a cop on a horse riding up the mall at night.
Mm-hmm.
I've been downtown at all hours, at all times, and I have never felt, the least intimidated by anyone.
What do you see as the city's future?
The city's future looks good. As I say again, it's evolutionary. It's not going to happen tomorrow or the next day, but you can see signs of it all over the place. I mean, young professionals are moving back into the city,
yes.
which is the real basis of this thing. And then people are realizing more and more that downtown is becoming more alive, is becoming more interesting, is the place to focus, is the place to gather.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my own personal predictions are that in 5 years we're going to be sitting pretty.
Mm-hmm.
The town is going to be open, and in 10 years we're going to be trying to figure out ways to keep people out.
I'd like to get to that day soon.
Me too.
Rick, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, and thanks for coming on and letting people know about your organization and expressing your opinion about where Wilmington is headed.
Oh, thanks very much, Bob. It's